The book detailing a 30-year battle that you've had with your inner self and your soul. Can we go back a bit, though? Because I figure that this may have been a fair contributor to what's happened in your adult life, the faked death of your father.
Yes, very strange. We came out from America when I was a little kid. My father worked for Ford. He was a designer, and we moved to Geelong, a place you're very familiar with.
Yep.
And we actually moved to Ocean Grove, Barwon Heads, Geelong, that sort of area. But he was having a lot of affairs. He was obsessively sleeping with other people, and he was very handsome. And also, it was the late '60s, and he was American, so it was all very cool. But his business, he left Ford, went into business for himself, and marriage wasn't working. Nothing was working, and he one day left his car on a pier and left a note with his solicitor that he'd had enough and he was ending it all, and. That was that, for a couple of years he was gone and he was dead, and then one day, about 3 years later, someone saw him in Melbourne working at a real estate agency, and they didn't see him. That person then told my mother, who eventually turned up at his work.
That would have been a good moment.
Oh, I can imagine. And she's, she can be pretty brutal, when she wants to be. And he must have freaked out.
But here's the bit. He talked her around, and he had other children by this point?
Yes, he had married someone else under a false name. He changed his name. And this is, the saying, if is the middle word in life? He said to me once, years later, he said, you know why, he changed his name from William Fleet to William Lee. And he said to me, you know why I changed my name to Lee that time? And I was like, no, I don't know why you did that. And he said, and he tried to make this sound very meaningful. He said, because Greg, Lee is the middle word in Fleet. Like it was some really deep philosophical statement. But, he'd done that. He'd had a couple of kids, one of whom got in touch with me recently, a really lovely bloke called Jacob, who has grown up to be, sounds like a great man. He's got his own kids, and he sounds like a much better father than the one we shared.
You've been successful, you've been performing when you've been...
Yes,
under the influence? Did you need to be under the influence to perform?
No, but I certainly... needed to not be coming down, if you want to call it detoxing, like I would either be on it or I would have gone away and, gone to a rehab or gone off, by myself in the country for a while and detoxed and then come back. But no, I did have a period where I think someone said to me, do you reckon you'll be able to do it when you're clean and sober? And I wish they'd never asked me that, because that's when I started going, oh, maybe I can't. But no, if anything, I saw a lot more lucid and a lot more clear thinking when I wasn't on it.
Who do you want to read this, and what do you want them to get from it?
I think parents of kids is a great thing, because already from the bits they've had in the they've put little bits in the newspaper and stuff. I've had a lot of response from parents saying that they believe it should be in school libraries. I mean, there's a lot of heavy language and stuff. That's probably asking a bit much, but parents of kids and also I think young adults. I think or late teenagers or whatever. I think they're the people that it's a funny book, but it has a serious message. But it's not, I think kids relate to it because it's not heavy, this is what you must do. It's funny, but it's also, has a lot of impact.